All right. All you little maniacs across the planet, welcome to Life Behind Bars Robcast number 3, coming at you live, uncut and unrated from Robcast Radio. So here's Zombie, you little maniacs, and here it goes. All right. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, and all you little maniacs across the planet. How are you gearheads doing today? Oh, all right. Let's cut it down. Let's cut it off. All right, guys, rock and roll. Hope you all have had as a blessed of a day today, because guess what, man? We woke up today, right? Hey, we woke up right today. We got to do something. We got to do something with it. So there you go. Welcome to LBBR number 3, guys. And thank you for tuning in here at Robcast Radio, Spreaker Studios. We might bring you some sort of little wacky stories consisting of motorcycling. In the last episode, guys, I was going to talk a little bit about like the best-selling motorcycles of all time, or of our era maybe, and I would like to look into that a little bit, because I had a list, but I can't find it now. Oh, goodness gracious, guys. So many notes. I was thinking about this a little bit earlier today, that there are so many notes that I will put, being that I've serviced, worked on motorcycles and stuff like that. I was thinking to myself so many times, guys, and we'll get into why I'm like this. I'm really, really picky, and sometimes, guys, you probably definitely do have your mechanics that's just trying to make them dollar bills. You've got your mechanics like me, and I'll tell you kind of like the way that I view motorcycles that I'm working on. But the thing is that always on the invoice, I'll have notes. It'll say note in parentheses, and I'll like tell you that like we may have not addressed this issue right now, but if it was my bike, it seems like maybe it's going to need this or that, or the rear brake pads are okay right now, but you should probably go ahead and put new brakes on it the next time we have it in the shop, stuff like that. That being said, I always put notes at the end on the bottom of the invoices that I've always given you guys, and so maybe that's what I thought I could bring you all through the old interwebs. Some of those notes, some of those things that maybe some of the things that I might have forgotten, or I might have intended to tell some of my customers, some of those notes that I would like everyone to know, that every mechanic wants you to know, right? So many notes. So many notes. And the lights are too low. Flip, let's kick some lights on. We're going to kick some lights on. We'll be back in 2 shakes of a Sportster's tail fender. Rock and roll. Thank you, Flip. Alright, guys and ladies and whoever else out there that over, what are there, 70 different pronouns? Whatever you are, guys, I appreciate you for tuning in. So yeah, so many notes, on the invoices and stuff like that. And normally they'd be like, look, I look at it like this. If you know that you haven't taken your bike to get it maintained in a while, then it's probably going to cost you a couple $100 more. I mean, you know these things. There's certain things that are required of your motorcycle in order to keep it functioning properly. But the main thing that you got to look out for is, that's right, the loose nut behind the handlebars. Guys, that's you. It's your responsibility. Anytime you crank that sucker up, throw a leg over it, or even with me, I guess, if you're like me, nobody rides my bike. I mean, it just doesn't happen. Personally, I've got bikes you can ride, but my personal bikes, nah, I don't think so. Like, I've got a pit bike, the Zuma scooter with the big board kit in it and whatever. Yeah, you're welcome to ride it around the pit area at the racetrack if we're out there covering some drag races. Maybe Life Behind Bars, guys. Me, the old Robcast. We'll go to some local racetracks and talk to some of our heroes in drag racing and see what they're up to. I think that might be a way to meet a few of you all also. And as we get more and more people tuning into the show, maybe you realized Zombie might have put hands on your motorcycle. If you're in the Houston metro area and surrounding south down to the Gulf, and hell, who knows? A couple of things, man. Some things like just go through my brain, like I can't stop thinking about them. Such as, guys, I'm thinking about ape hangers. Okay, not like why ape hangers are there, because they're there because of keeping up with the Joneses, just wanting to do what he did better, bigger, faster, stronger. Well, okay, look, there are two different kind of people in this world, right? There are creative people and there are competitive people. The creative people will take a motorcycle and they'll visualize it to be what they intend it to be in the future when they very first see it, right? And competitive people will just throw money at it. That's my opinion. Creative people, even if it does intend you to throw money at it, okay? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the competitive people are really more about doing more than the next guy. Creative people are really more about functionality that suits them, okay? So I'm just saying, sometimes if somebody dogs your bike or whatever, hey, too bad, so sad. Guess what? It's yours. You know what I'm saying? Be proud of it. Run what you brung and be proud of what you have, guys. Because let me tell you something, I would rather you be on that motorcycle, whatever it is, than something that you're not ready to ride yet, something that has too much horsepower for you, or something that just isn't built for you physically. And we'll talk a little bit about, like why ape hangers exist. Why do you think they exist? I don't know. I'm going straight on, just like on a straight guess. From working on motorcycles and stuff like that, and building a few bikes and stuff like that, I'm thinking, why? Okay, I don't see the functionality of ape hangers. Is it so that cars can see you? Maybe they see your hands sticking way up in the air. Okay, that's A. Or B, maybe it's from outlaw bikers. Their hands are already up. Like, you don't have to tell them put your hands up. Their hands are already up. Now, look. Now, those are just guesses that I came up with on the fly right now. But let me tell you something why I really and truthfully think ape hangers exist, okay? And this is the reasoning behind my theory, the reason behind my guess. Once I was on my Honda Shadow Spirit 750, and I was in the left-hand turning lane on the corner of Preston, turning left onto Spencer in Pasadena, Texas. And I saw in my rear view mirror coming up behind me, it looked like a miniature Goldwing. Okay, it just looked like a miniature Goldwing with a guy riding it. It looked like maybe like a 500cc Goldwing. And Goldwings at this time, we're talking, this was in 2005 or 2006. So yeah, even let's say a 2003 or 4 Goldwing would have been, they're big, guys. They're huge. This was the exact body style and everything of a Goldwing coming up in my rearview mirror. And whenever it got up next to me, it was huge. It was like way bigger than my 750. And I was like, what on earth? I look over there. And it's because the gentleman riding it, he had to have been one of the Houston Rockets, guys, because he was sitting on the back seat of the Goldwing. And the windshield might have come up to his chest, and he was sitting on the thing like a mini. He had to have been 7.5 foot tall. I'm not exaggerating. He did have on a helmet, but he was sitting in the passenger seat of a Goldwing, reclined back like he was the passenger. And so whenever he was coming up in my rear view, I thought it was a regular sized person on a little bitty Goldwing. And no, it was like one of the Houston Rockets on a Goldwing. He pulled up next to me, we waved, and I nodded, and I was like, dang. So that's what I'm saying about getting a bike that suits your needs, right? That's the biggest motorcycle made on planet Earth at the time, and it was still a little bit too small for this guy, right? I mean, plenty of horsepower and everything like that, but kind of like Shaquille O'Neal, having to take the front seat out of the car and set in the back. It was the exact same scenario, but this cat wanted to ride, and he was out riding, and it looked like he was having fun. So let me tell you something. That's my theory, my guess on why ape hangers exist is that there was some really big dude, right, just built some really big handlebars that fit him, and then whenever he sold that motorcycle to some short dude, some vertically challenged gentleman like myself, I'm 5'7", so I still like to ride big bikes. I've always ridden big bikes. I mean, it's a matter of skill set and what you're comfortable with, guys. But that's what I think, is that some really big dude built the first set of ape hangers just because they fit him, and then he sold that bike off to a vertically challenged guy that was riding it around reaching for the sky, and his buddy saw it, and that became a trend. So I don't know. What do you think? Why were ape? Okay. Now I'm gonna have to make a note. I'm gonna take a 2-minute break. I'm gonna make a note to look up why ape hangers exist. So guys, guess what? I'm gonna have to incorporate Google. I'm gonna have to Google it. I'm gonna have to look up why ape hangers exist, or better yet, you look that up and you let me know. You're welcome to follow the show, guys, right here. Download the Spreaker podcast app onto your mobile device, on your phone, if you're trying to get your mixed martial arts workout, if you're sitting there cutting parts all day long on that CNC machine, if you're turning wrenches on other people's motorcycle, looking outside, it's a beautiful day, wishing you could be out there riding yours, guys. Follow the show and I'll let you know whenever any of our zaniness is up and coming or whatever. You can also leave a comment right here at the show, whatever you want to talk about. Let me know, guys. We'll be happy to bring it up on the show. And if you do turn wrenches for a living, I would be interested in having you on the show. That's right, you. If you fix other people's motorcycles for a living, I would be very interested in... Yes, that's right. If you're not around the Houston and surrounding area, Angleton area, then you're welcome to call in. And if you just leave me a message, guys, I can get with you. We can get with you, and we'll be happy to have you on the Life Behind Bars Robcast. So yeah, download the Spreaker podcast app for your phone or for whatever mobile device it is that you use, that you're listening on, and go to where it says created by the information. Click on my name, right? Robert Cole, and that's where it will allow you to follow the show. Hit the crisscross, follow the show. You're also welcome to listen anytime, guys, on YouTube. That's right, the audio will be on YouTube anytime. You're welcome to listen on YouTube. We'll put it on Facebook. That's Robert Cole, zombie in parentheses at the moment. And let's see what else. Twitter. That's right. I'm Robert Cole at Robert Cole at Robcast Radio on Twitter, or Zombie 8896665 something else. Anyway, I'll get that all lined out for you guys in the near future. And the one last thing, guys, you're welcome to email me anytime. robczombie@hotmail.com. robczombie@hotmail.com. And I will answer your emails. So what's what, guys? Why ape hangers were made? And I had a little list of like what my dream bikes were. I can't believe that I did not mention. Yes. How would you? Oh, I would love to have just in my garage. I wouldn't even necessarily have to ride it, all the time, but I'd have to ride it, but I would definitely love to have an MV Agusta F4. An MV Agusta F4.